But what
Second, when you believe that you have a very huge superpower backing, and you believe that you are more strong, you lose wisdom. You believe the force, the power. You don't believe the interest of your people, or the consequences, how long it go. So that is why I don't believe, unless a balance of power comes, unless the superpowers understand the reality that they have no interest to make people fight and kill each other, but find a solution and forcing us to agree, or otherwise leave us to agree between us.
Somalia, with all its problems and poverty, sits among the oil-rich producing nations. And although Somalia is not producing oil, it does have a prize. An air base at the port of Berbera that was built by the Russians in their heyday. That was before they were expelled in 1977. While the Russians once supported Somalia, the United States at that time was a friend of Ethiopia. Now the sides have changed.
We believe that Soviet Union betrayed us.
You did?
Yes, that is what we believe, because we had an agreement that we should not kill or hit on the back one to another. So when they went on the other side and make a new marriage against us, sending forces against us, against our own country, bombardment our children, with their planes, this is betrayal of the agreement, of the word of honor, of the agreement which existed. We were good friends. We were not dependent. I am very bad dependent, but I am very good friend. If we today agree something, I will remain to it. But at the level of friend, not at the level of dependent. We hate dependent. We hate colonialism. We hate those who believe colonialism and man on other man.
Negotiations for the airstrip are underway to strengthen both Somalia and the United States. The United States would strengthen its position in the Indian Ocean. Somalia would be strengthened by the $2 billion price tag sources say is attached to the deal. So far, it is an offer the United States is refusing. U.S. officials do not want to indirectly provide weapons that could escalate the Ogaden war. As in any war, there are casualties. Here at the Baydoa General Hospital, the wounded from a recent air raid recuperate. They are the lucky ones. 29 others died. This medical facility leaves a lot to be desired. It is a far cry from the Bethesda Naval Medical Center. We watched as a 30-year-old man had his right leg amputated. A bomb had already taken the man's foot. Gangrene set in, and the surgeon had no choice but to remove the leg just below the thigh. The operation is performed without a trained anesthesiologist, without heart monitoring equipment, without blood transfusions, without trained assistant doctors. There is a lot missing here, but despite all the limitations, the surgeon calls the procedure a success.
Majority of them was serious. So I don't speak English freely, so I prefer somebody to make translation.
That's all right. It's fine.
You're welcome.
You're doing.
Since
the raid began on 18th of this month, many seriously wounded have been brought to this hospital. Some of them have been amputated. Some of them have been bandaged. Those who have were suffering, the wounds which were, the shells or splinters of Ethiopian air raids. There were some seriously wounded. We could not help them here, and we sent them to Mogadishu, where they can get better treatment. Majority of them, they were suffering from the splinter bombs, which have been dropped by the Ethiopian air. Suppose, for example, I have helped somebody who from whom I have pulled out about 100 splinters from his body, all over his body. This is a poisonous splinter that immediately swallows the body. Some of them whose stomach were just suffered from the splitters of the spleen have been treated and still they're in the one.
The refugees are unfamiliar with international politics. What's important to the United States? How much money Somalia wants? They know that with each tomorrow, their future becomes more uncertain. And it is the children who are the most vulnerable. Over 150,000 in the camps are under the age of 6. Tomorrow, will they eat? Will they live? Will they still be faced with war? For the refugees, the answers are unknown.